Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Woke by Accident podcast. It is a weekly chat about socially conscious topics impacting the culture. I'd like to extend my gratitude in you listening to this podcast. It means everything to me, and I hope it is clear that this subject matter is so important to me. I care about our people, our future, and making a positive change in this nation.
This episode is powered by Poddex.
Do you find it difficult to come up with content ideas for your podcast? Or perhaps you've gotten stuck during an interview with a guest where you just have nothing more to ask? Try Poddex today. Poddex is the best all-in-one podcast idea generation tool. You get everything from episode ideas to interesting conversation starters for interviews, engaging discussions for your live streams, and even social media content ideas. With this tool, you don't have to spend weeks trying to come up with content for an episode or unique questions for your guests. Just shuffle the cards, pick one at random, hit the record button, and get started. Now you can make better content, have more fun while you're at it, and get your viral moment. All with Poddex. Head over to poddex.com and use code C4C. Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Woke by Accident podcast. Today I want to bring to your attention a really tragic case out of Brookhaven, Mississippi. And also this episode is especially for the Content Creators of Color Collective. Now, this story is being compared to Ahmaud Arbery case and being compared almost like a copycat situation. So really disturbing case, but we do want to keep everybody informed. So I want to share this story with you guys. So a Black FedEx driver was allegedly shot at by a white father and son while delivering packages on January 24th. The driver was D'Monterrio Gibson, who is 24. He states the two men chased him in a truck for several minutes and began firing at least 5 shots toward his van. Now, he was in his FedEx uniform, but he was in a Hertz truck. Now, it is, I did some research online, and it states that FedEx drivers are responsible for their own trucks, unlike UPS, so it is common for them to take a rental truck. So you may see a FedEx driver in a budget truck or a Hertz truck, where other companies like UPS will always be in a UPS vehicle. But in some cases for FedEx drivers, they may be in a rental truck. And then we know like other companies like Amazon, they have relationships with the US Postal Service. So you may see delivery carriers and different types of vehicles. However, he was in full uniform. So this information is coming from theguardian.com. So Gregory Casey was driving the pickup truck and attempted to cut Gibson off as he was trying to leave. Gibson then swerved around the pickup truck to get out of the neighborhood. Gibson described the attack with the Mississippi Free Press. I drive about 2 or 3 houses, and there's another guy standing in the middle of the street pointing a gun at my window and signaling for me to stop with his hands, as well as mouthing the word stop. And I shake my head no. And he hid behind the steering wheel and he swerved around him as well. So that second man was Brandon Case. And so when he swerved around him, he began firing shots into his vehicle. So he called the police at this point to report the shooting. A dispatcher interrupted him while he was calling it in, stating that if he had been on the Street Junior Trail. And he said, and that was the street where he was delivering packages. He said, yes, I was on the Street Junior Trail delivering packages. And the dispatcher says, well, I just got a call of a suspicious person at this address. And so he told the dispatcher, sir, I'm not a suspicious person. I work for FedEx. I'm just doing my job. As a result, the cases, Brandon Case And Gregory case, the father and son who were out here shooting at Gibson, they were arrested on February 1st. And that's over a week after the incident. So Brandon Case, who is 35, was charged with felonious attempting to cause bodily harm with a firearm and a deadly weapon. His father, who is 58, Gregory Case, was charged with unlawfully and feloniously conspiring to commit aggravated assault. The father and son were released from jail the next day on bail. So despite the charges, Gibson and his lawyers argue that the local police are not taking the case serious, and they're actually calling for federal hate charges to be filed. And so they actually want a hate crime investigation. It also states that Gibson was initially reluctant to speak out about the incident, but he was reminded of the Ahmaud Arbery murder, which involved a white father-son, and similar incidents which have occurred over the years, which black people were killed while simply going about their lives. And this is a really interesting quote. He says, "I thought about all the people who ain't here to speak for themselves, and I'm just looking at everything way different now. You can die just doing your job. The cases and their attorneys have yet to comment publicly on the situation." And then as far as FedEx and what they have to say, they have made a statement. "FedEx takes situations of this nature very seriously, and we are shocked by the criminal act against our team member. The safety of our team members is our top priority, and we remain focused on his well-being. We continue to support Mr. Gibson as we cooperate with the investigating authorities." So that is the supportive statement from FedEx now. However, if we look at the prior articles out here, they didn't always have the same level of support. According to the Mississippi Free Press, initially after the shooting, Gibson took time off from work. The company asked him to return to his route, and when he declined, after indicating what has happened on that route, they placed him on unpaid leave. So just as of February 11th, they reinstated his pay. So they placed him on an unpaid leave because he asked not to be on the route after enduring a shooting when he was just simply doing his job. So, that's not really ideal work environment. So I guess they have changed their tune. So we're glad to hear that they have changed their tune. But this is what I think about it. It definitely feels like a copycat situation, sadly, of the Ahmaud Arbery situation. What was his crime? Being black. Sadly, they had already called the police. It appears from when he called the police, they had already had a report of a suspicious person in the area on the same street he was on. And so based on the circumstances, it appeared that he was that suspicious person. And why was he suspicious? Because he was in a Hertz truck, because he was in his FedEx uniform, because he was delivering packages and walking up to people's homes and delivering his packages as per his job? Was it because he was a black person in a neighborhood that is not so frequently resided in by many black people? So sadly, it appears that he was targeted because of his skin color. Now, it's one thing to make a phone call to the police if you see someone suspicious and ask the police to take a look or look into a matter. But it's another thing to go into your vehicle and chase a person down the road, cut them off in your vehicle, and actually get out of a vehicle and stand in the middle of the street and start firing shots at someone. They took it way too far. This was unacceptable, and just really, I feel like it was, on the lines of a hate crime. Why was he targeted? Because of his race. That's a hate crime. He was targeted because of his race. This wasn't just someone being suspicious. He wasn't doing anything. He was driving down the road at that time. So how are you firing shots at someone because he's driving his truck down the road? And so, yeah, this is just really this whole matter is out of control. And so I'm glad that he is seeking counsel, and they did file charges. So we'll definitely be following this trial and the entire matter so that we can provide a update to you. As always, we thank you guys for listening. At this time, we're going to go ahead and conclude the episode. We greatly appreciate you listening. We invite you to follow us on social media. On Instagram, it is Woke by Accident Podcast. On Twitter, it is Woke by. On Facebook, it is Woke by Accident Podcast. We also have the new website up, www.wokebyaccident.net. Please check us out, and also follow us on all of your favorite streaming platforms, and please leave a review and share feedback. You can also reach out by Gmail, wokebyaccident@gmail.com. And every time you listen, we appreciate it so much. Thank you for listening, and take care.